Hello, beautiful people. Good to have you all here. Welcome to this live festival live section on this channel. Yeah, we are here live and direct, and I hope you all are doing good. This is my first live streaming on this channel, Build the Marriage, where I help you solve all your marital problems. I'm so glad we are here live and direct, and as you are joining, please remember to like and share this live broadcast so that others can be able to join us. That's the essence. So please share this live section to wherever you wish, wherever you want. Share it in a wide range so other people can join in. Let me share mine because I remember this. So today we are going to Today we are going to be talking about discussing in depth how to how to restore your marriage, how to fix that broken. Sorry, I'm being distracted because I want to share this, so I'm sorry about that. So we are going to be talking about how to fix a broken marriage, a broken relationship. Whew, this is a huge one, and we're going to start with that in this channel. In as much as I know I've made some videos related, if I'm not mistaken about it. So today we are live and direct. Please, as you are joining, remember to like and share so that others can be able to join us, and also grab this wonderful blessings the Lord is about to, spread. So without taking much time, let's move forward. Let's get to the main, food of the day. Is your marriage falling apart, but a part of you still want to fix it? Yeah. You are not crazy. You may think, no, you are not. You are not crazy at all. You are not alone. You know, that moment we are in that situation, we feel like to give up on everything we have worked hard for, because working hard for something is one thing. Another. So that is it. You are not alone, and it's not too late as well. Yeah. Nothing is too late. It's not too late. Now is the right time. I'm your relationship coach, Maryann Nnaji. In case you are here for the first time, you're welcome to this program. In as much as we all are first time on this particular live section, including me. So I'm your marriage coach, and in this live section, I'm going to walk you through exact how to fix a broken marriage or relationship. You know, we've met people, we've had some rough patches. There is no marriage or relationship that doesn't have rough patches. Yeah, we've all been there. So I'm gonna help you in this live section to guide you on how to fix your broken marriage or relationship. Even if it feels like all hope is gone, you know, there are times we feel like there is no need, you're just wasting your time. I've heard a lot of that. People tell me that, and I'm like, you don't give up, you don't. So God always have ways of doing things. That time you are tired, that's the main time God shows up. He tells you, you're just a baby, just watch me and see how I do things. So that is what it is. And in this live section, I have let's say 4-5 parts or section or whatsoever I may call it in this particular live section. So you are not going empty-handed, no way. You are not. You are in. You're gonna benefit a lot from this live section. And the first thing I'm going to be sharing with you here is the #1 cause of marriage breakdowns. You know, sometimes we may think this is the problem, but in reality it is that. So that's the thing here. I'm going to share with you 1 cause of marriage breakdown. And also another thing you're going to take home from this live section is 3 early signs you can still fix it. There are signs that shows you, yeah, you can still, you know, do something. And also I'm going to be sharing with you the repair roadmaps. Yeah. And that's under the repair roadmaps, I have 5 steps I'm going to share with you. So get ready. I think you need to get a pen and paper. I'm sorry, but you need to. So at times I know we don't normally have time to sit and watch videos like this. So that is the thing. That's why this is what I do, especially when I learn things that I know that I will need in the near future. I do not just, sometimes I screenshot the things if it is a written form, but here we are live streaming, so I don't think I can be sharing that's maybe the write-ups with you, because unless you visit my website, that's the only way out. So, and you can visit our website at www.buildamarriage.com. And the next thing I'm going to be sharing with you, that's the 4th section or 4th parts I'm going to be sharing with you in this live section is common mistakes that make it worse. You know, sometimes we don't know when we are worsening our own problem. So that is it. And the final one is where we, you know, have the live section. I mean, the Q&A question. When you can send me any question you wanna ask. So I think I heard myself also. So that is it. But before we dive in, I want you to type in the comments, or I want you to type in the chat section if you believe your marriage is worth saving. Yes, even just a little, like you have this little clip that's, yes, my marriage can still be saved. So let me know down in the chat section. Let's show each other we are not alone. We all have, there's no marriage that doesn't have ups and downs. So that's one thing. So here I'm going to be sharing with you why marriages break. You know, I told you I'm going to share with you one cause of marriage breakdowns. But trust me, you're gonna get more than that in this live section. So let's roll. So the first thing here is this: why marriages break. The number one is emotional disconnection. Is the silent killer. That moment you think you are no longer intimate emotionally, like I mean emotionally, when you no longer have those feelings. So when you are disconnected emotionally is number one reason most marriages break up. But the thing here is, because we do overlook it, so we don't see it as that's not a problem. Maybe when the woman needs your attention, you are not showing up. Like seriously. Or when the man needs your attention, you are not showing up, and you're making them feel like they are nothing to you. You're making them feel so little. I hope someone can hear me down there. Please, if you can hear me, let me know down in the chat box. And as for my Instagram here, I don't even know what's going on. Voila, no be small thing. So the thing here is, this: do your best to be there for your spouse, for your partner emotionally. Like, do your very best. Don't overlook it. Don't say, I have to work, I have to get the money. Everything is not money. If you are the man, everything is not money. You give a woman $100 billion, still it doesn't change anything. So that's why sometimes, okay, you can hear me. Thank you for that feedback. I really do appreciate. Thank you very much. So don't say after all you need is money. No. If you are the woman, don't still say after all we get it out there. I know a lot of people do say that either. I will get it out there. I will get it out there. It is not the right move. Those are the causes of marriage breakdowns. So first is emotional disconnection. Do your best. I recommend you, there is this cheat sheet I have. Should I call it cheat sheet? Yeah. I created specially for you 30 things couples do together to stay close emotionally. And I will leave the description somewhere around this video. Before the end of this video, you will get it. So the thing here is this: you have to be close emotionally. Do not disconnect, because these are the reasons your marriage are suffering. You know, these are the reasons your marriage is suffering right now. And until you fix it, there is this saying in my, I think in my native language, what it means is the water starts from the top to, you know, get rough. When you go to stream, for instance, to fetch some water, maybe you see the parts of the place you want to fetch is not neat. So it means it started from the top, from the beginning. So you're gonna trace it from the beginning to be able to solve this problem. So that's the number one reason most marriages break up today. And the number two reason is trust breaks down gradually or suddenly when this what is it called, this disconnection in emotional, like when you have this emotional disconnection, you see things starts, there will be no more trust. You know, things will just be happening anyhow. So trust breaks down gradually as you have emotional disconnection. And another thing I want to leave you here with, in this particular, why your marriage breaks down, why the marriage is suffering, is that most of you wait too long. Yeah, wait too long to ask for help. A lot of people are living in, I don't want to say it so people will not feel like I'm going through that. And that's why you even lose the marriage, because you are too afraid. You keep waiting for what? I don't know. Now the truth is, when someone is being drowned in the water, let's say someone went to swimming pool, and maybe they are learning, they are amateur, they are not professionals, you know, like we who don't like to, you know, to swim. We don't know how to swim. When we get there and get into the top or bigger one, we can drown. The only way you can save such person is when they start shouting and raising hands. Oh, you know, when someone is being drowned, they will be shouting and trying to. There are people who know will not shout, they will try to let me struggle, and still they go. So that is what happens in life. You're gonna learn to ask for help, no matter how little. You know, the truth is, I know a lot of you may not want to ask for help for so many reasons, because I know we all have our reasons. Sometimes we may not want our colleagues or our friends or our relatives to know what we are going through. But the truth is, those people you are trying so they don't know what you are going through also are going through the same thing you are going through. So that's why you have to learn that there is nothing. I've come to learn in this life that everything we go through here on earth, we have all experienced it similar. It may not be exact like I have, but it's similar. So that is why you don't have to say, I don't want him or her or them to know that I'm going through this. Does it really make sense? It doesn't, because you are still suffering if you keep quiet. If you open up, you have solution. There's a saying that says, a problem shared is half solved. I know sometimes people are afraid of the gossip. Let them talk. That's why the mouth is made for, to talk. People will definitely talk. Even when you even when you think you are pretending, like you don't want people to know you are going through, in one way or the other they will know, and they will still talk. So what's the essence then? It doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense. So the most important thing here is to ask for help when it has gotten to this level. You know, there are times you can be enduring, you can be managing your way out, you can be doing your thing, but when you see it has escalated, that you can no longer control it, that is when you need higher help, like higher help. So in marriage, you have to learn how to fix things. Like in your relationship, you have to learn to open up, speak up, no matter what they think. Who cares? So when you go for what people think, you will never achieve your destiny in life, because you will always have this people who have something to say. Yeah. So that is what it is. With that being said, one of the first things I do tell people who ask me how to fix a broken marriage or a broken relationship is, you must understand why it broke in the first place. These are the reasons. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because a lot of us do not want to go back to think, why do this happen in the first place? Because we do not really want to go start afresh saying things we do not want to say, or we will regret later. My goodness, no. You have to do what? Start thinking through. Why did that happen? What happened? How? Start asking the right questions. Ask why, what, and how to fix it. Because if you don't do these things, you don't know why. A lot of people keep shouting, this person is the problem, that person is the problem. When it comes to relationship, it's always a person. It's always a person who will suffer it, like who will carry the whole blame, which is normal for humans. Yeah, we are human beings, yes. But in reality, we contributed to it. Oh no, we did. We did. The moment you start shutting up to say, it's not my business, that is the moment you started contributing to a bigger problem in the future. But you will not realize it, because as at now, you may be thinking, that's like, you may be thinking, it's not my business, like, that's their cup of tea. Tomorrow, it will be your own cup of tea. And then you will understand why it's always important to have shared goals together. So do not always overlook, always look at why the thing happened in the first place. Why are you having issues? The day you discover why you are having issues, maybe misunderstandings between both partners, some things are triggered, and that is why those things happen. So you're gonna know what triggered it, so you can be able to avoid the problem in the future. So one question I have for you here is this: what do you think is the biggest cause of marriage breakdown? I would love you to let me know in the comment section or in the chat box, wherever you are watching from. Even if you are watching a replay, no worries. Feel free to share your opinion down below. I read every comment, so let me know what you think is the biggest cause of marriage breakdown, because what I think might not be what you think, and what you think might not be what Mr. B think. So we need to come together and help and solve this problem. That moment we are trying to avoid divorce, but still we still see ourselves. So we need to think, what do we think? What do you think are the causes of marriage breakdown? So as we are waiting for your answer down below, we are preparing in going into the next part of this live section, and that is, can your marriage be saved? I asked this question because it's so crucial. You have to know, can your marriage be saved? Do you think that relationship that has gotten lot of issues, do you think it can be saved? Because whatsoever that comes from you is what it is. I believe you feel it, you understand it. So let me know, can your marriage be saved? As I wait for your comments down below. So here comes the 3 early signs I discussed with you earlier. I think, yeah, I discussed with you because I gave you some few how the life section is gonna be. So the thing here is this: we have 3 signs you can still fix your relationship. Yeah. And the first one is, like, I mean, 3 signs your marriage can still be fixed, like resolved, restored. The first one is you still care. A lot of people still care, but I don't know why they still hit the divorce limit. I call it divorce limit. I don't know why they do that, but I believe they have reasons for doing that. But no matter reason, I believe nothing in this world that we chose to fix that cannot be fixed, because God has given us the willpower to put things in order, not to destroy, but to help Him manage what He has created. God is the origin of marriage. He is the one who originated marriage. So if He originated marriage, created us and put us in this form and say, okay, go, dominate, take charge. I have given you everything. Take care of my property. These are God's property. We are all God's property. And you come and say, I've given up. You are destroying what God has already made. All you need to do is to manage it. How do you manage your finance? Your money. If, for instance, you put your money in the bank, you are depending on the bank for managing the money for you, in terms of, if you do not take the money, the bank cannot take the money, right? That's exactly what it is. But if you take the money, you are the one taking it. They can't take it. But what if you wake up tomorrow, you didn't see your money, and it was the bank who took the money? It wasn't you. You never authorized such. It's not a fraud, but it's the bank who took the money. How will you feel? That's exactly how God is feeling. That's exactly how God feels, because we are not managing, we are not a good steward of His property, His management. We are not managing what He has given us to take charge of. So we have to think of these things. So the first sign that shows you can still fix your marriage is when you still have these feelings, even though you felt bad, you are angry about it, but this is a sign for you to know that your marriage can be fixed, because you still care, you still have some love, you still have some atom of care in you about it. Then the second sign is there has been honest or remorse. Maybe you have issues. Maybe you have issues with your partner or your spouse, but then you still have this atom of honesty in you, or remorse, like you felt bad for them. That's a sign. You know, sometimes, yeah, lovers do, sometimes it feels like they hate themselves, sometimes they are back again. This is how it is. This is also how it is between us and God. There are times we behave like we don't care, He is not existing. He will get mad at us and we'll see ourselves in a mess, and later on He will have mercy for us and still call us back. And then we too will feel, oh, I have offended Him, I know, and we go back to Him. That's exactly how it is. So these are signs that shows your marriage can still be resolved, like you can still fix your marriage. Then the third sign I'm going to give you here is you both want change. Like you really want to change things, to make things, even if unsure how, but you still have some, that is exactly what it is. You still want to amend things, to turn things to become like before. Or so these are three signs that shows your relationship can still be fixed, can still be resolved, and can still be saved. So my question to you now, in all these three, which of these three things I've listed you relate to the most? Maybe 1, 2, or 3. You can type in the chat section. If it is you still care, you type 1 in the chat section or comment section. And if it is both of you wants to change things, to turn things to, you can still write down below. So write it based on number. 1 is for I still care, or you still care. 2 is that you still have some honesty or remorse within you. And the third one is you both want to change things. So let me know down below which one relates to you the most. And then we move over to the next section we have today, and that is the repair roadmap I promised you. Yes, I told you I'm going to share with you 5 steps on how you can repair your broken relationship or your broken marriage. There are times we think all is gone. So these 5 steps, the first one is stop the damage. How and what do I mean by that? Reduce maybe anything that causes those things to happen. I can call it the triggers. Reduce conflict. If it is conflict, for instance, if maybe I'm telling you something and we keep having these arguments, I'll just reduce that. Or maybe criticism. when we always, it's you, it's me, it's not me, it's not you, it's not, all those things. So you stop the damage, because these are the things, and it wasn't, if you continue doing it, the marriage, the next thing, you won't even believe yourself how fast you will go in damaging your marriage, and the next thing is you are divorced. Yeah, it's so easy, because when the enemy, the plan of the enemy is not for you to be in that relationship. Yes, that's the target of the enemy. That's what I see. The enemy has penetrated, because it is only through marriage the enemy can get what they want. Yeah, can attack both the children and the family, attack everyone, without anyone helping each other. That's why I am telling you this. So the first step in repairing your relationship is stopping the damage. And the second step here is understand each other's pain. You know, the truth be told, sometimes a lot of us don't really care. In reality, sometimes some people don't really care about the other, and all this stems from selfishness. When we always want to have our way, to have our things, we don't care how you feel, all those things, it affects, it even makes your marriage break down the more. So you have to understand each other's pain. The best way I always put this is, whenever I'm maybe advising anyone, I will tell you, put yourself in the other person's shoe. Assume, just put yourself, take it this way. If I'm the one, if I'm that person in that situation, what will it be? Will I still feel this way? How will you feel? What will you feel like? Because I've seen situations often. People will tell you, somebody did this to them, somebody did that to them. They get angry, but they forgot they do the same to others. And they are happy about it. And I'm like, if you're happy to do something to someone, and later on you feel that same pain such a person is going through, you're supposed to be happy as well. You're not supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be happy, because you were happy when you were doing that. So that is the thing. Always, empathy is always the key. So empathy before solutions. Always feel, understand the other person's pain. Then the third step in this repair roadmap is rebuild safety and trust. Why this is so crucial is for you to be able to repair or fix a broken marriage. You have to first of all try to build a safe place. Safety is number one priority of anyone. Like anyone, number one priority is to be safe. Then trust. So you rebuild safety and you rebuild trust. Safety in the sense, for instance, if you have a relationship that is not working, but you are working hard to make sure this relationship doesn't you're working hard to make sure this relationship works and it doesn't fail. But still, some things are lingering around or in the background of the relationship. What do? You do your best to be safe. You know that moment sometimes we have some issues. That moment we have some issues in our relationships. We are like, I don't care, I don't really care. And some people see themselves, they flirt, and as you flirt, you forgot you have a partner that 1 or 2 days or anytime you can go back together. And when you go back together, you might create a problem for them. And this is what I'm talking about. So in other words, what I'm saying in essence is, do your best to rebuild trust and safety. But all this must be through consistent actions. It is the actions we take that rebuilds these things, not through words. So it's the actions we take on a daily basis, the things we do all the time for our spouse or for our partners. These are what helps in rebuilding safety and trust. So with that being said, that takes me to the 4th step of repair roadmap I promised you, and that is reconnect emotionally. I told you emotional disconnection is the major problem that causes marriage breakdown. While I call it emotional, that's the highest limit. That moment someone no longer cares emotionally, forget it. The marriage is off. So do your best to rebuild emotional intimacy or connection. Also, you can do this through small daily moments, because it matters. Like I told you, it's your actions daily that matters. These are what helps in rebuilding and repairing this marriage of yours. And that takes me to the final steps for this roadmap, repair roadmap, and that is create a new vision. For instance, if you and your spouse or partner have planned on something before, but because you have had these rough patches, we all have that, like we have all experienced it in one way or the other. But the difference might be the weight of these rough patches. So the thing here is, we all have experienced it. So, but I know that initially you have a vision, and there was this rough patches that tried to separate you and stop you from connecting emotionally and doing what you're supposed to be doing. But then when you get back and try to repair your relationship or your marriage, this is what you do. You create a new vision. If the vision you created last and you couldn't fulfill that, but you create a new one, with your partner or spouse, and this is how it is. What do you do? What you do so the thing here is, what do you want your marriage, your relationship to become? That's the vision I'm talking about. That's the vision I'm discussing here. So what you want your marriage to look like, to become, you know, that's the new vision. So you have to, if maybe before the one you had never, you know, you reinforce and add more stronger vision in this way and work to commit to them. So which of these steps feels like the hardest for you? Because I know in all these 5 steps, there must be one that is hardest. Like you feel like, I don't think I want to go through that road, or that's it. So which of these feels hardest for you? Let's talk about it down below in the comments or in the chat, wherever you are watching from. So with that being said, that takes me to the next step I have for you in this life section, because I know we have this life in parts. So the next part, being the 4th part, is the common mistakes that makes it worse. What not to do is what we are going to be talking about here. So many times we do the opposite of it, and that is why we still get the results we get, because when you do the right thing, you get the right result. But when you do the wrong things, you get the wrong results. So what you need to do here is very simple. Is first identify the things, the common mistakes you need to avoid. Excuse me. So the common mistakes you need to avoid first is trying to fix it alone. Like I said, trying to fix it alone with no input. Like with no input. You know, I told you, I think in the beginning, that moment you don't want to say anything because you don't want anyone. You just want to manage it that way. That's a common mistake. One of it that worsens it. Because you know why? Let me explain. Your partner knows you are not willing to open up to anyone. And when they know you are not willing to open up to anyone, they stick to where they are. They keep doing the things. And they will come to you and pretend, no, everything is okay. No, I'm not. But they are still on what they are doing. That's why it gets worse. But in your mind, you think things are okay. But behind, they are doing what they like. Like they are just fooling you because you think you are fooling them. So that's why you need to open up. Open up. Keeping silence will not help. If you cannot really solve your problem yourself, because I know some of you have the capacity. When I say capacity, I mean you have the knowledge, you have everything God has placed in you, but it's just you are not making a move. You are not stepping out to be bold about it. And when you don't approach it with boldness, you don't get it. So you're gonna be bold. You're gonna be bold to take what belongs to you. And that is how it is. So Trying to fix it alone with no input is the problem. It's one of the mistakes that worsen your marital issues. Then the second common mistake we do make is using blame or guilt to force change. Oh Lord, the truth is, blame or guilt cannot change anything. It can't. Or try to, blame yourself or put all the guilt on yourself. It cannot change anything. Rather, it worsens it. So, what do I mean by that? You don't, I've seen a lot is going on in families. A lot is going on in families. Sometimes what I do see is that a lot of people use the knowledge, the wisdom God has given to them against their spouse. And that's where the problem lies. So that knowledge, they will use it to attack you, to blame you, so you feel you stay scared, like I don't want. But that is why the problem persists. That's why it increases instead of reducing, because you don't want. Confront your fears. I don't mean fighting, physical fighting. No. Speak out. Say it the way it is. Don't try to paint words. Don't try to say, I don't want to say this so that they will not think no. But I am not encouraging you to be rude either. Be respectful, but say your mind the way it is. So that is the second common mistake that worsens marital problems. And the third one I have for you here is, the third mistake is bringing up past pain without boundaries. When I say boundaries, I mean, it doesn't mean you cannot bring past pain to let them know that this is what you have felt. No. What I mean is without boundaries. Boundaries is putting things in place. For instance, if I should tell you that you hurt me so time or so period, and I just told you and we started talking about that, and I continue feeling more bad about it, that is where the problem lies, because that's the boundary I'm talking about. I have told you, I always say this all the time, my past, anything that happens to me in the past, I use it to grow myself, to become better in the future. I don't go back to it to start eating on them. I go back to it to know why this happened, what happened, and why does it have to happen that way. And if I discover any issues why it happens, I will remark it and make sure it never happens again. That moment you are just there, you are being you, and people will just be behaving the way they are behaving. It's okay. Just take it like it's okay. For me, it's okay. You can do what you like. You are you and me. So I cannot become like you and you cannot become like me. But we can only be who God has created us to be if we are working towards that. So what I will do simply, if there is anything, I will look into it. Anyway, this one doesn't make sense, let's forget about it. This one doesn't. Anyone that makes sense, I note it. I note it. When I mean make sense, I don't use them to start dwelling on it again, to start living like feeding on it. No way. I only use it to make sure it doesn't happen in the nearest future. So that's my goal, that's my point. That's the point I'm making without boundary. Bringing up past pain. Like, for example, you went through some painful experiences in the past. I've heard a lot of people, when you are talking about the past, they don't want to talk about it because they are not proud of it. But you are still not creating. That's not boundary. You are avoiding it. If you want to release emotions like easily, you're gonna learn to speak about your experiences, whether good or bad. Do you know when you speak about your experiences, what it does is you release the pain, you release the feelings. You are only now using it to correct, and that's exactly what the Bible taught us. So you use it to correct and make sure it doesn't repeat in the near future. But a lot of you run away. A lot of you don't want to talk about it. Like, seriously, they'll tell you, don't go there. I don't want to talk about it. You're only avoiding it. And I tell you the truth, it will still surface. And whenever it surfaces, it creates more problem instead of you learning from them. So that's why it's necessary for you to always think of how you can bring up the past pain without boundaries. Like, make sure you create boundaries on it. If you're gonna talk about this in this context, like context. Say it. Why I'm saying this is this, not for me to go and dwell and start feeding on it. No, I'm saying it so you know where and how you have done this or that. That is it. So there must be boundary when you are speaking or bringing up your past if you want to avoid this mistake. So the third mistake, like I said, is you bringing up your past pain without boundaries. There are gonna be boundaries. There are a lot of people I talk to. When people hurt me or do anything, if it is the one, I will remind you. Why I'm reminding you is for your own good, not for me, because I have learned from it. But I want you to learn from your mistakes, because if we do not learn from our mistakes, then why are we here? We are here to evolve, to learn from what happened last week so it doesn't happen next week. If not, we keep seeing ourselves doing the same mistake all over. I've seen a lot of people do the same mistake here and now, again and again, and I'm like, but why do people let things happen like this? Unless their life is taken away before they can realize they are taking the wrong steps. So it is very crucial that you take note of these things I'm listing, because that's the only way you can help to fix your marital problem, fix your marriage. And the fourth mistake I'm gonna share with you here is, that's the final mistake, is going back to normal too soon. Going back to normal too soon. Whenever I say this, I'm saying this because A lot of people, when they hurt you, they want you to come back to normal, and that's why you don't really see even the red flags when you are supposed to see the red flags, because you think, okay, you go back. No, you're gonna guard. You know, when you are doing some things, you watch around you, watch the circumstances, your situations, how things are just happening. So your duty will be, do I really like this? Ask yourself, what do I do to avoid this next time? And even if you are going back, there should be boundary, like I said. Don't go back too soon, like normal. You can go back, but not like before. Just gradually. That's it. When you go back normal, like to normal the way you were, you will feel more hot and hot and hot. You know why you will feel more hot? Because they are seeing you are back like normal. So they will continue what they are doing. And that's life. That's human being for you. So sometimes I do say, I see people who say they won't tolerate this or that, and I'm like, I've come to learn that human beings are human beings. They will always be human beings. You see someone will promise, I will never do this. They will swear with everything. In a second, watch them. They go back to that same vomit. And you are like, why? If you keep doing things this way, you will die before your time. Honestly, you will die before your time. So the thing there is this: don't go back too soon. Like, don't go back to normal too soon. Just gradually still maintain some boundaries so you can be able to heal completely. Release any emotions, because I do encourage people all the time. I speak my mind. If you hurt me, whether small, whether big, or if it is something I wish I can talk to you about, I tell you. If it doesn't make sense, I'll forget it and move on. But if I tell you, I'm not telling you because I want to tell you. I'm telling you so because I want you to help yourself and evolve. Because if someone should tell you, you did me this, you did me that, and the next thing is you thought about it, you're like, okay, I never knew I did that to you. Okay. And maybe they try to explain you did and when and how. The only thing is truth. You think through that and be sincere with yourself. Think through it. From there, you will learn a lesson you've never thought of before. That is why there's nothing else. We are here to help one another evolve. That's the essence why we are here. We are here to help one another learn. If we are not here to help one another learn, then why then are we here? We are here to evolve, to learn, because I know there are some of us who are here to help themselves, just themselves. But you see them, there are limits. They can't go far beyond that limit. So, but the main goal is for us to help one another grow. And when you have this at the back of your mind, you elevate to higher level, both physically, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, and otherwise. You grow, you learn, you evolve. So that's why it's crucial for you to, take time to learn those mistakes, common mistakes, and avoid doing them, rather do them the right way. So have you made any of these mistakes before? Yes, these 4 mistakes we mentioned. There is no shame. So just type me if you have been there, because we have all been there. Yeah, I have been there. I remember those days. Sometimes I'm like, when you are with some people in any relationship, this is not just based on only a marital relationship. This is also based on any relationship you find yourself. When you are in any relationship, and I've seen a lot of people who sometimes they will just do some things, and you, because of your nature, maybe you are a kind person, you know, you don't want trouble, you don't want problem, you're on your own, you're doing your thing your own way, so you forgive them because you have a good heart. And they come, they know ways, they know the things they will do to get you back to normal, and you see yourself back to normal, and again they hurt you, and you're like, why? They do the same thing again. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like if sorry solve anything. Sorry doesn't solve any problem. There's a video I made here. I think I will show it maybe later up here. Stop saying I love you and start doing it. So love doesn't help in solving. Saying I love you doesn't help in solving marriage. So that is it. Then the next thing is, we are going into the final stage, and that's the Q&A section. If you have any question for me, this is the time. But then I have some questions for you, and this will help, you know, ginger you into knowing if what we have all done here, you really got it. So the first question I have for you, I think I'm hearing noise. I don't. Please, I'll be back. Let's see. Let me attend to my girl. I think she's out there. Sorry about that. I was hearing my daughters crying, so I had to go and attend. I don't know what's going on, so that's the thing. So the thing here is, I have 3 questions, I think. Yeah, I have 3 questions for you, and if you have any question for me, feel free to ask me any, and in this live section I'm here to answer your questions. If you have any, please let me know. Write them in the chat so I can be able to answer your questions. But I have 3 questions for you while I wait for your own question as well. And that question I have for you is, the first one is, what if only one partner wants to fix the problem or want to fix the marriage? This is a question I have for you. So, and the second one is, how do I trust again after infidelity? Because I've heard a lot of people ask this question. Yes, you can still trust again, but we'll discuss it maybe in depth later in another section or so. But for today, this is what we have. And the third question I have for you also to, have in mind is separation ever a good idea? Now, we have these 3 questions here. I will answer the 3 of them while I wait if you have any. So the first one is, what if only one partner wants to fix it? So the thing here is, that's why I said there are things you have to, communicate. I don't really believe in keeping everything to yourself, like to yourself. The day you start keeping things to yourself, that's the day you are destroying your own marriage yourself. Because to be honestly speaking, this is not how to go about it. You have something you learn to share. That's why you are a couple. When God designed it, He said He has made both of you to become one. One thing we do not really understand about marriage is that marriage is spiritual before it's physical. Yes. So when you unite with someone, you're already one. And those who go through infidelity, trying to flex around, if only they will open up, they experience it. Because once you have sexual intimacy with someone, you already one with that person, both physically and spiritually. Physically, you may not be marrying them, but in the spiritual world, you are one with them. That's why marriage is so deep. God has created marriage because that's the only way the world could be a better place. Because when the husband and the wife, both partners, both couples are in good terms and working together with the same shared goals, you see their life will not just change, it will affect the lives even of that of the children. And not just the children, it will expand. when I say expand, it will expand to friends, family, and relatives. They will observe it, and from there, because God has a plan. God has a plan for making marriage, and He has done what He has done. Then we need to manage what He has given to us. So if you see yourself with someone and you thought in your mind it would be lovely, to be with these people, yes, always bear in mind we are humans. We have, and I usually call it faults, but we have our uniqueness. There are things we are good in. There are also things we are not good in. We learn every day. We are not perfect. So the day we start realizing this, then we'll no longer be offended, or we'll no longer feel like you need to go your way, I need to go my way. But because we do not have this together, that's why I encourage you to do things together. Please download these 30 things couples do together. I created this. This is something I bring out time to do for you. 30 things couples do together to stay, to have a holy home, like a home that is filled with everything God has planned. So I've seen also relationships, marriages, the wife do her own thing, the husband do his own thing. When I mean their own thing, I really mean nobody is coming together like to make plans together. Let's do this as a family. Everybody is doing their own thing. But the truth there is, you may not repeat now. When you will repeat is when you get older. Then you will realize the benefits of having someone around you. This is so crucial. I do not know why people feel like because they are young they can do what they like. Like I'm feeling young myself, I can feel like do anything I like. Good and fine. You will repeat when you are old, when you become advanced. Though when you age, that is when you understand that indeed you needed somebody. There is a video I saw that was how many years ago? It's more than 2 years ago. I think it's up to 4 or 5 years. I saw this video. Somebody was saying, I want to be with someone. I want to be like a woman saying she wants to be with someone, anybody at all. So I'm like, so, but she narrated a bit how she ended up being a single mom. At times we don't really know it's not about, because sometimes some people think it's, no, there are gifts God puts in people. So whoever you first met, like you met and you have something with them, just do your best. We are human. We make mistakes. We are not perfect. I may make a mistake today that my spouse or my partner may not want me to make. But if he understands that I'm a woman, a human, not woman, that I'm a human, he will, not that he will overlook it, but he will understand. If he puts himself in my shoes, he will understand that this is what it is. We are human, so there's no problem. But the issue is we always think there is one perfect somebody out there. Now lie. It's a very big lie. There is no perfect somebody out there. We all have flaws. We all have scares. We all have something. All you have to do is very simple. Look, first of all, desire. I keep telling people, before you get married, don't just get married because you want to get married, or because you just know, first of all, what do you want? What do you desire? What do you desire? If you know that thing you desire, go for it. Ask God, the creator of the universe, to do what? That you want this. And it shall surely come to pass. He made it a declaration for you. He said you should declare the word and it shall surely come to pass in your life, in your own life. So that is why I always encourage you to go for. Don't get married or get into someone because of material things. This is one of the issues a lot of people face today. You know, some people marry some people maybe because of their wealth, maybe because of the money, maybe because of the looks. Oh my goodness, all these things fade. Someone who has money today, tomorrow may not have. Someone who has good looks, good shape, good everything, tomorrow will become yakata, and things will fall apart. So that's why we don't go for material things when it comes to marriage. I encourage you, if you are still young, when I say young, I mean if you're still single and you desire marriage this much, you're gonna have specification of the things you want. And what do? Ask God. Tell God, this is what I want. This is what I want in a man or in a woman. You know, you're gonna have, it can't be anyhow. God created you specially. He said, before you were born, I knew you. He knew you before you were born. So how can you go for less? Just make a bold declaration of what you desire. He is abundantly generous. He's not stingy in his gift. He will give it to you marvelously. So, always work hard, do your best. Like I said, we are talking about these 3 questions, and that is the first one. What if one partner wants to fix the problem or wants to fix the marriage? Everything depends. If only one partner wants to fix the marriage, they can still talk to the other partner and see if they can have what I call change of hearts, because the Bible says the way you think is the way you are. Maybe they may be seeing it in another perspective. So that's why you that wants to fix the marriage, if you are the one that wants to fix your marriage, what do? You bring out all your reasons and present it to her or to him. Tell your partner, this is why I feel like we need to solve this marriage. We need to make it happen, you know. So when you do this, you give them every reason you have. If it is 1, if it is 2, lay them down there. And they might think, they may not even think through those reasons initially. That's why I encourage you to open up and speak to one another. Speak with your spouse, not just for the speaking sake or hearing sake, but for the sake of knowing What do I have to contribute? What can I do to help you? We are here to help one another. Honestly, we are here to help one another. Even in the family we are, you have children. Those children came into your life for a purpose. You're gonna discover why they are there. If you see someone falling for you, in love with you, ask your creator, why is this person here? The universe, the God who created the universe, the God who created the universe, the creator of life, will explain to you, will give you the answer of what you seek. So you're going to learn to speak up and tell your partner or your spouse, this is what I think, this is the reason why I think we need to fix this. From there, they might see it in another perspective. And that is it. So we've answered the first question. And the second question is, how do I trust again after infidelity? Already I have a video I created here on YouTube about how to trust again. Yeah. So what you're gonna do is how to rebuild trust. Yes. How to rebuild trust. Maybe I will show you some of them, but I have a video here. The title of the video is how to rebuild trust in a relationship after cheating. So I explained everything in depth in this video, but I know you can still save your marriage, save your relationship. If you have been asking, how can I save my marriage, how can I fix my marriage, you have everything at your beck and call. All you need is to make a step, make a bold step, and start acting, start doing what you're supposed to do. Take action. So when it comes to trust, you can trust again, but you're gonna do it gradually. If you take it once, it will be a big problem for you. So you're gonna take it gradually. First of all is to forgive. Like I always tell you, past being done, past hurt or past pain that we do experience through our friends, relationship, and so on, we experience them not because we want to experience, but because it's a process of learning. God has created all things in that form. Things function automatically. So everything is what you give is what you get. So when it comes to trusting again after infidelity, everything starts by first of all forgiving. It can be yourself, it can be your partner or your spouse. But the issue is that we don't even want to forgive. Some we not want. I've seen people who have vowed not to forgive their partner, no matter what. So tell me, how do you intend making that to work? It's not possible. If you cannot forgive, that's the beginning of your problem. You are going deeper into more problem. Because unforgiveness brings bitterness. And unforgiveness, before you know it, all these things leads to suicide. You begin to blame everything that happens in your life. You see, you can blame anybody, you can blame yourself, you can do it. You begin to hate even your own life. So that is why first step is forgiveness. So I encourage you to watch that video on how to rebuild trust in your relationship after cheating. Yeah, you need it. So with that being said, I hope I've answered that question. How do I trust again after infidelity? Yes, you can trust again after infidelity by forgiving your partner. So that is it. Then that takes me to the last question, and that is separation ever a good idea? I've heard people say it's better to be separated. Sometimes we do say those things, but in reality, it is not a good idea. I will explain. The main reason God created marriage for a purpose, and He created marriage. He told us, go and multiply, fill the earth. So if He told us to go and multiply and fill the earth, He said we should go and be fruitful. Like give birth, give as many as you can train. So those children, what happens to them? That's the thing. You leave them with half life. That's exactly what it is. I remember those days when I was after my high school. Like I said, marriages, there is no marriage that doesn't have rough patches. We've all been there. We've all been there. So, but then there are times my parents will have these rough patches, and I feel very bad because it affects me. I will explain. There are so many ways marriage issues, like marriage problems, affect the children. So many ways. In so many ways. First is that if you are having issues with your partner or your spouse, the other partner might end up hating one of the children, because when they see that child, they see you. This is real. Sometimes we don't like to face this reality, facing ourselves in the mirror and telling ourselves this is what we look like, this is who we are, because we are afraid to see that ugly side of us. So the way it affects the children is what I'm listing. I'm not going to list everything, but I'll give you just a clue why separation is not a good idea. You may think your daughter or your son is okay. You will give them a better training. You will do this for them. You will do that for them. But in reality, there is nothing you do that would take away that trauma, because it will keep playing like a video game in their head. If they see you maybe having issues with their mom or their dad, and it's the rough parts, like the roughest one, it gets them emotional. It traumatizes them emotionally. You may think this child is on top of money. She has the money she can have. I've given her everything I've got. Everything is not money. Or he has everything he wanted in life. He has everything is at their beck and call. No. Those little things we do not think of affect these children. I remember those days I started going for seminars after my high school days, when I started my institution. I started going for seminars on how to have a happy marriage. Not actually for myself, to learn and see if I can impart. Because so many times there are questions I ask my mom. How do you meet my dad? I do ask her sometimes. She doesn't give me the answer until one day I insisted. I said, please, you're gonna tell me, how do you people met? Because it matters. If you can relate to me, it will help me tomorrow. I'm a girl, I'm gonna get married. Although I didn't explain like this to her, but I told her I need to know. But I was asking in case tomorrow I don't fall the same victim. Because in life, people fall victim because we do not open up to tell them, listen, avoid this, avoid that, look at what this happened, this is what I went through, so don't go through it. There is nothing like spelling it the way it is. But the issue is we keep pretending things are okay, whereas they are not. And we end up putting our daughters and sons in danger because we are trying to protect an integrity. Which integrity? So when I asked her how they met, sometimes she avoids telling me, sometimes until one day she opened up. So I laughed. The day she was, as a child, when children do ask questions, like if my children start asking me questions, and you'll be like, they ask me some questions like I don't even expect. So when I started asking her the question, she wasn't giving me any answer, because back then, who are you to ask your mom or your dad a question? You don't. You dare not. You dare not. Who are you? That's the question. Who are you to ask them that question? So that's why I said it is not a good idea to be separated. If you have entangled yourself, that's why I always encourage young and single girls, especially young girls. If you know you're not going into this for the long haul, you better chill. Ask yourself, what do I want from this? This is the only way you can be able to do what? To achieve what you want in life. Because when you realize, oh, this is that and that is that. I've seen marriages, I've seen good marriages. Sometimes I'm like, in as much as there are good marriages, doesn't mean they don't have issues, but they know how to solve their issues. That's the thing. What makes marriage good is you feel you encounter that rough patches, you handle it, you take care of it. That's it. You take care of it real good, not in a way to, maybe however, but in a better way to make everybody feel safe. So that's the point I'm making. So I hope I've answered the last question, and that is separation a good idea? For me, and based on my biblical foundation, God is the origin of marriage. He has a purpose for creating marriage. And He has given us the world. He has given everything to us to manage for Him. We are only stewards. We're gonna learn to manage what He has given us. So we have no right to break any marriage. But if you see yourself in any marriage or abusive marriage, there are ways you can solve it. I believe we can solve problems. There is no problem that is bigger than us. He said, all things, nothing is impossible with me. He has given me the power to uproot and to plant. A lot of you don't take these principles and apply it in your life, and that is why you let things go the way they go. So the point is, separation is not a good idea. If you see yourself thinking separation is a good idea, please let me know your reasons down below here, because I've just given you my own reason. I'm only a manager. Like, you don't, if you're a manager of a place, your duty is to take care of that thing. Your duty is not to start destroying them. Your duty is to manage what the boss has handed over to you. If you're a manager and you start having, maybe there were 6 workers, you have 6 workers under you, and things were going well before, all of a sudden your workers reduce, you start suffering in terms of looking for more people, but no one is coming. You are a bad manager, because how can people not come to work with you? So apart from that, you are managing something, all of a sudden you waste, because we do that a lot. You waste resources, you know, you waste things. Your boss will do the, what is it called at the end? We do check out, we take stock. And when they take stock, they're gonna know if there is waste or no waste. And that's how they're gonna know if you are a good manager or bad manager. So you're gonna manage what you have been given. Let me use the 5 talents as an example from the Bible. Jesus gave us this as a proverb, I think as a parable. The 5 talents, the one they gave 5 talents, the one they gave 3 or 2 talents, the one they gave 1 talent. Now, the first 2 people invested what they have into what they are doing, and they got more. The one with 1 talent, because of greed, selfishness, he said that his master is a greedy master. He wants to reap where he did not sow. And what happened? He went and dug the money in a hole, in a pit. And when the master came back and said, okay, what have you all gotten? He brought that same exact money the master gave him and gave it back. And what does Jesus say? Jesus said, the master cursed him and said, you ungrateful servant. He collected the money, that 1 talent, and gave it to those who have more. So in life, anything, even the gifts and talents you have, you're gonna use it for humanity. You're gonna use it to start helping people around you. Start little, start small. You must not go big. Just start small. So in marriage, it's the same way. Sometimes there are things my children or my spouse might do. I look at them, I'm like, oh, if they only they knew. Because I always pity them. If they knew what they are doing, the implication, they will not be doing it. And later I will explain it to them. I like to use scenarios, and the universe always presents it. And I will tell them, you see, maybe my daughter might do 1 or 2 things and something will happen later. There was a day she ate, he took his brother's snack that they used to take to school. So he took it, he didn't give his brother. So his brother thought the snack was with him. And when he got to school, he found out there is no snack. So he was thinking maybe one of his classmates has taken it. So when they came back, I met my daughter. She was complaining. She was having stomach aches. I'm like, did you eat anything? She said no. I said, okay, what did you eat in the morning? She said it's just the normal breakfast. I said, okay, no worries, let's get home first. So, but when we get home, but on the period before we got home, something struck me and made me to ask, apart from the breakfast, what else did she eat that day? So I asked her. She said the snack. So when she said the snack, I said okay. So we went home. Then the brother started telling us that he didn't eat his snack, that someone has already, the brother told the dad, someone has already taken my snack at school, so I didn't eat anything. So, and I said, your snack. When I heard it, I'm like, why would someone take your snack? Why would they do such a thing? So I don't know what happened. I managed to get this clue. And the next thing was, I asked my daughter, did you take your brother's snack? She started saying, you know, when they start stumbling on the words. So I said, no, I want to know, did you take your brother's snack? Because I remember that day I told you to. That morning, I saw her took the snack. And I said to her, please give your brother the snack. So I never knew she was up to something. So, and I asked her, did you give your brother the snack? She started acting funny, you know, saying some funny things. And I said, okay, no worries. I want to know, did you give him, like, did you give him the snack? She said she took the snack. And I said to her, okay, give it to him now. You have yours. She said she has eaten it. I said, oh, no wonder why you were having stomach ache. And I said to her, the universe has caught you. Yes, that's your karma. How could you take your brother's snack without telling him? How cruel is that? And you ate yours and ate his, and you started feeling pains in your stomach. I said, good. The universe served you well. The universe served you well, because what we give is what we get in return. That day, she never thought it would go that way. You know that time they say what goes around comes around. That's exactly what it is. So the point here is very simple. In everything, the children, in one way or the other, suffer it when the marriage suffers. So we're going to consider the children whenever we are doing anything. If you have the intention of having a child, even if it is one, consider them before you make the first move. Think of, I would not want this child to be without his father. Have that fatherly love, because you are depriving your children to have motherly love and fatherly love. We have to bear this in mind and know this is how it is. This is how God has designed it. God himself also told us, even in the Bible, that the children are meant to do, you know, wrong things. Like they can do wrong things and silly things. Why are we there? To guide them from those silly things they do. So if you now think you are the only one that can guide them, no, there is power when there is a mother and a father, and these people unite together to give this child or these children the things they need. So for me, this is my own opinion. This is how I see it, because that is my foundation. The Bible is my manual. Whenever I have any issues with anyone or with anything, I visit my manual. and that is it. I visit the Bible. So separation is not a good idea. If you think otherwise, please let me know. Even if you think the same thing I like, that separation is not a good idea, also let me know your own reasons, because my reasons might not be the same with yours. You might have a separate reasons altogether, but mine might be mine, because I don't know. So let me know in the chat or in the comment section, if you're watching a replay of this video, what you think. Let me know down below, and I'll be grateful, I'll be glad to reply and help you more. So with that being said, let's move on to the final section of this live streaming. And I want to let you know one thing. If you take one thing away from this live section today, let it be this: broken doesn't mean doomed. With the right tools, like I told you, with the right tools, your marriage can heal. You can save your marriage. You can still fix your marriage. That's what I want you to take home today. No matter what it is, broken doesn't mean doomed. So with the right tools, you can still fix your marriage and fix your relationship. With that being said, I want to thank you today for letting me help you, because I know it's a privilege. It's a privilege. I'm privileged to be here, and I'm glad and grateful to the universe, to God, the source of life, the creator of the whole universe, the one who made this possible today, that I help you solve your marital issues, save your marriage from divorce. Because we're gonna stop. We need to stop divorce, because it's not helping. The world will not become a better place. I want you to imagine. I want you to have this imagination of how do you think, have this vision of a life, like you are living this life, and the world out there, people are without parents. How will it look like? Like, imagine it. Because those children are the future of tomorrow. These children will become prime ministers. These children will become business owners. These children will become different things, career movers, like business shakers, those who lift things. They will become presidents of countries. How do you think the world will look like? We are here to guide them. We are once children, and we grew up from a parent. Why do we want to deprive them from having that guidance? Why? So, in other words, what I'm saying is very simple. They need this love and care. Do not deprive it from them, please. Do not deprive it from them. The only thing I encourage is for you to always have this zeal to better your own life. I use the word better. Be your best version. Work on yourself. If you, the husband, work on yourself to be a good husband, why won't your wife work on themselves to be a good wife to you? Tell me. Tell me. I want to know. Why won't? So we need better children tomorrow. Not the frustrated children. Not the mentally children. We need full, whole human beings tomorrow. That tomorrow will be proud. Oh, we did what we are supposed to do, and we'll be grateful to God, the source of life, that made it happen. So we're gonna have this at the back of our mind, that we help these children. Sometimes, to be honest, I do see silly things children do. Silly things. And the truth is, they will become an adult tomorrow. But if they don't have someone to guide them that time they are young, how will their future look like? There are a lot of frustrated people out there who have been frustrated not because they want, but because they have left the society to turn their life into something else. They have no option, they have no choice but to live by it. So please, this is my own goal. This is why I have always, is your responsibility. God has put everything, every power. He has given you the willpower to make things work out. But the number one is for you to become your best first before you can. Because when you be your best, it spreads. You don't need to speak about it. People will see it. You will, like, people will emulate you in one way or the other, and you influence, you impact people's life even without you speaking a word. That's what it's supposed to be. That's the goal. That's what God wants from us. So I hope I have helped you today, and I'm glad. I'm grateful to the universe, to God, the source of life, who has made all things possible for me to be able to help you today. If not one thing, please take this home. Broken doesn't mean doom. So with the right tools, you can still fix and heal your marriage. You can save your marriage from divorce. You can save your marriage from curse. Like, seriously. You can save your marriage from abuse. All these things are in your power. When you keep quiet, you have given the power to someone else. You have given the power to someone else. So you're going to learn to speak when you need to speak. And that is it. So thank you for joining me today. I'm super grateful to help you in this live section. I hope we're gonna do this again. Please don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Build a Marriage. So, and also follow me on YouTube. If you have not been following me or subscribe to my channel, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Support this ministry, because we're gonna build a better world, a better home, a better life, a better children, future children tomorrow that will be proud of. Not the one we'll see will like look one side. No, we're gonna be proud of these children tomorrow. So thank you so much for taking part. If you want to book for a section, feel free to, you can email me at maryann@buildamarriage.com. And also remember to share this live section with someone who needs it. Yes, I know you know someone who needs this live section. Please share it with them. And that is all we have for today. So I thank you, all those who have participated, even in the live section, in the chat comments. Thank you for taking part. Those who have not commented, I also appreciate your presence. And with that being said, thank you for taking part. As this is our first live section, I'm super excited about this. To be honest, I'm really super excited. You are the best for making this a reality, not by my power nor my might, but by His grace that we are here. I thank you for all your love and support. don't stop here. Please keep supporting your girl, and I'm here to help you become work that family out, work that relationship out. Even when the devil is striking, the enemy is striking, tell the enemy you got the power. He has given you the power to uproot and to plant. Therefore, I plant good seed in this marriage, in this relationship. No power of the devil. Make that bold declaration. I tell you, you will thank me later. Tell the devil you have the power. He has given it to you. Not even him can take it away from you. And then you see the power of God working in your life, even in the smallest things you do. So thank you for taking part and joining me in this live section. I'm super grateful to help you today. And with that being said, I will see you in my other video. Bye. We'll be doing this every week. So I hope you're gonna help your girl in any way you can. We'll be doing this if this is one of the things you have always dreamt to pursue as a passion, I tell you, let's do this together. And I'm here always, all the time, to help you. Feel free to comment me or send me any message. You can send me on email, maryann@buildthemarriage.com, and then we'll have some chats. If you want one-on-one section, feel free. I'm here to help you. And thank you, and I'll be seeing you in my other video. Bye.